it's Jem here. Thank you for joining me, YouTube. This is day 10 of the 31 days of, shifting around. This is day 10 of the 31 days of BPD. I'm going through number 6 on the BPD definition, signs and symptoms. And I will start reading this out to you. It's a bit of a mouthful, this one. So don't worry, I will be going through breaking it down and explaining it. Remember again, you need 5 or more of these from the 9 to have a diagnosis of BPD. I shall read it out to you. Affective instability due to a marked reactivity of mood, e.g. intense episodic dysphoria, irritability, oh my goodness, I can't say this, irritability or anxiety usually lasting a few hours and only rarely more than a few days. Let's break that down. Affective instability means that you are easily affected by what's going on around you, and it means that you are you're kind of on that borderline, should you say, of being very sort of unstable. So actually what it means is that you will keep having repeatedly rapid and abrupt shifts in mood. Now anyone that knows anyone with BPD or lives with anyone with BPD completely understands the abrupt shifts in mood. Yeah, I'm sorry. So you can be really hyper 1 minute, something could happen, or even just a thought may pop into your head and that could bring you back down. You're constantly always being affected by something. Reactivity of mood. This just means that your moods are strongly reactive to whatever comes at you. This is your intensity. So you've got rapid shifts in mood, but they are also intense moods. So if something happens, you're feeling good, someone says something like you didn't do so well last week when you were talking about sleep problems or something, and I could be very much like, get really angry, and then someone else can say to me 10 minutes later, oh, I really loved your video on sleep problems. I'll be like, oh, thank you, that was really good. You are very easily affected, and what can then happen is you can then go into what we call an episode. I'll be talking about these in more detail, but you go into an episode where you're stuck in this level of intensity, and this can either be a dysphoria. So dysphoria, this is in my mental health jargon, but it's very important for BPD, so I will explain it here. Dysphoria means a general state of unease or dissatisfaction with life in general. So you could be very withdrawn, very shut off to the world, very enclosed, very uneasy. And this will be an episode. What I mean, an episode means that it's a part of your time that you are fully immersed in your illness. So this could be fully immersed in depression, and this episode could last a few hours. So you could be stuck in your depressed mood. You could be self-harming, you could be crying, you could be staring at a wall just like this. Sometimes I'm like this. And then it shocks people because then I'll suddenly be like this. And yeah, but the episodes, I want to stress, the episodes, you can be in an episode of depression, an episode of irritability, so you may be feeling really irritable and frustrated and angry for a few hours over something that's happened, and you're so affected by this, and it's an abrupt shift in your mood, and you're really overly intense about this mood. So someone seeing this from the outside, my boyfriend knows now when I'm in an episode, he knows what to do, we all know what to do when I'm in an episode, when I have an episode. And depending on how you're feeling in that episode, you could be experiencing dysphoria, irritability, anxiety, sadness, anger, fear, paranoia, and yeah, it could take you when you're in that episode, you could take yourself off to take drugs to help. You could go off and spend loads of money. You could go off and self-harm. This is a very serious place when you have BPD because you are very much trapped in this episode. And we'll talk about how to deal with episodes later on in this series. But what I want to stress is that this episode is very real to the sufferer. If they are at a very high level, as we talked about up here, if they're already kind of up here in this level, I've said that's really not your person anymore. They are completely lost, and what they need is love and support to bring them back down, so they're not up here. It's just even if they're back down here, which is still rubbish, but it's better than being up here, because when you're up here your impulsivity goes and you're more likely to reach for dangerous or reckless behaviours. So just sum that up again: affective instability due to a marked reactivity of mood, e.g. intense episodic dysphoria, irritability or anxiety, lasting a few hours, only rarely more than a few days. And this is what's quite, I want to just put this in here, this is what's very different to bipolar, in the sense that you will have an episode, you will have long episodes of feeling depressed and episodes of feeling extreme high and elation, but they last a lot longer. The thing with BPD is it's very short and very abrupt. When you've left one mood, you're going into another relatively quickly, whereas other mood disorders, that's the wrong term, but bipolar is the same in the sense, but it's longer times. So I've probably just repeated myself saying that. So if you're feeling any of those, please talk about them. How long do your episodes last? What happens during your episode? What do you reach for during your episode? Do you automatically go to self-harm, or do you have tips? Do you have ideas for getting out of an episode? Anything you've heard today, please comment on. Let's get some discussion going about this really, really difficult side of the illness. Well, it's all difficult, but you know, having an episode, and I've had an episode in the last week. I think I told you in another video. Yeah, and it's horrible. But once you work out your coping mechanisms for that, we'll talk about that. Then you can come out of these episodes a bit quicker. Thanks for watching. This has been day 10 of the 31 days of BPD. Please join me for tomorrow for day 11. Take care and thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye now.